calling the meeting to order. Okay, here we go. Roll call.
Commissioner Simpson?
I am here.
Commissioner Bajaj absent. Commissioner Anderson?
Here.
Commissioner Nafisi absent. Commissioner Bealey?
Here.
Commissioner Sal absent. Chair Arata?
Present.
Thank you. We do have a quorum.
Perfect. I salute to the flag. Commissioner Anderson, would you like to lead it?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approve the order of agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the order of the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Blue folder items, additional backup materials. Blue folder items are additional backup material for administrative or two administrative reports and public comments received after the printing and distribution of the agenda packet for receive and file.
There was one blue folder item for tonight for H1 on public participation on non-agenda items.
Okay. Do we need a motion?
I'll motion.
Motion to, I move to receive and file.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Consent calendar. Business forms, except those formally noticed for public hearing or discussion, are assigned to the consent calendar. The commission members may request that any consent calendar item be removed, discussed, and acted upon separately. Items removed from the consent calendar will be taken up under the excluded consent calendar section below. Those items remaining on the consent calendar will be approved in one motion following oral communications. Approve affidavit of posting for the Public Works and Sustainability Commission meeting. Approve the Public Works and Sustainability Commission meeting minutes for the June 23rd, 2025 regular meeting. And F3, receive and file a report on the number of accessory dwellings units in the city of Redondo Beach. Can I get a motion?
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If I can take a step back, we need to take public comment on consent calendar items.
Sure.
In terms of, let me check Zoom. We have one attendee, but no hands raised, and we have no e-comments for consent calendar.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, moving on, G, excluded consent calendar
If we
items.
could just retake the vote, maybe.
Oh, I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
All right, I'll motion to accept.
Okay,
Yes, second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Excluded consent calendar items.
There's no excluded for tonight.
Public participation on non-agenda items. This section is intended to provide members of the public with the opportunity to comment on any subject that does not appear on this agenda for action. This section is limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be afforded 3 minutes to address the commission. Each speaker will be permitted to speak only once. Written requests, if any, will be considered first under this section. H1, public participation on non-agenda items.
There is one hand raised on Zoom, if
Sure,
you'd like to take that.
for sure.
Daryl Boyd, you can unmute yourself.
Got it. Good evening, Daryl Boyd, resident of the 500 to 600 North Prospect Avenue block. I've been in front of you recently, as well as the city council, presenting many safety, noise, and quality of life codes and ordinances that the city of Redondo Beach is out of compliance on or refusing to enforce state, county, and local. There's been no response from any of you. We've asked for clarification on a budget that Councilmember Koludarovich indicated had been in place for improvements to the North Prospect Avenue median. She indicated that there was over 200K budgeted for improvements, but she has refused to answer in several city council meetings or by email exactly how much that budget was and where those funds are now. I have asked her to schedule a time to call me and walk this project with me and discuss it. It's been 2 weeks and no response. I emailed her again today and again, no response. We have asked to know how much was spent on the so-called beautification project on the North Prospect Avenue median, in which tiny plants of Mayor Light's personal choice were used. These tiny shrubs provide no safety, noise reduction, or privacy, and they never will. We were given no chance for input in this project, a very similar situation when Mike Klein made the decision to remove all of the oleanders from the median without speaking to any of the residents about it, leaving us wide open and exposed here. Who gave a mayor and a public works deputy director such authority? We've made requests for public records regarding traffic accidents, personal injury, property damage over the past 10 years at North Prospect, Diamond, Borough, BCHD. As of today, the city of Redondo Beach is out of compliance in providing those reports, which is 10 days per the California Public Records Act, California Government Code 7920.000, and the following. Sampled noise levels this evening between 5 to 6 p.m. were at 55 decibels standing traffic, 65 to 70 decibels moving traffic, 80 to 85 decibels motorcycles. This is horrendous, this is unbearable, and we don't have to live like this. We need action taken on this street immediately. Mayor Light has claimed that the city of Redondo Beach has a plan and is executing on it, yet he has provided nothing to us. There was never even an official landscape plan for the so-called beautification project. Why all the stonewalling from the Redondo Beach city government? Why aren't we on the agenda tonight? What is it you all are waiting for? Does someone need to die before you decide to do something?
Thank you. There's no other hands raised. And there's no e-comment for this item.
Do I need to receive and file?
No.
No. Okay. I, items continued from the previous agendas.
There's no items.
J, items for discussion prior to action.
Good evening. Jesse, if you could pull up my slides. Good evening, Commissioners. This first item, the only discussion item for tonight, are short-term improvements at the Broadway, Sapphire, and Guadalupe intersection. Just some background on this. The city has received concerns about pedestrian and driving safety, long crosswalk distances, a lot of undefined and unnecessary roadway space at this intersection, and reports of illegal/nuisance driving behaviors, such as people doing donuts, as it's informally called, at this intersection. As you can see here on the right, this shows the map of the subject intersection: Broadway going north-south, Sapphire going east-west, and Guadalupe that comes in at about a north from the northeast with its own stop sign. This is an always stop, with the always stop being between Sapphire and Broadway, and Guadalupe stopping at Broadway. As the city has done some past efforts with this intersection, probably 7 or 8 years ago, the city brought on a consultant to investigate and design some conceptual improvement options at this intersection. Some of the goals were to increase the number of parking spaces with angled parking, increase the amount of green space by reducing the amount of unnecessary roadway space, reducing crosswalk distances, and improving overall safety. At the time, there were no funds available for the project, and it remained an unfunded CIP project. This graphic shows the conceptual design efforts that were undertaken at the time. These are the two primary options. Repurposing the space that is that slip lane from Broadway to Sapphire and adding additional landscaping islands at the Guadalupe approach. Both options are pretty similar. They both add a lot of parking and are generally considered improvements for safety. But as I mentioned, there aren't funds at this time to implement this, but we can certainly discuss these long-term improvements as well. In the meantime, we're proposing a short-term quick build solution using flexible rubber curbs and striping. The main goals of this, similar to the permanent improvements, are to improve visibility, shorten the crosswalks, better define the roadway space so that drivers know exactly where they need to be going, and reducing the number of conflict points between drivers and pedestrians. Some of the impacts could be street sweeping. Once we put in those curbs and remove that space, the street sweepers will not be able to access that space. So that is a bit of a drawback. And there will be some small parking loss in the form of some currently illegal spaces due to crosswalks or fire hydrants, and 1 or 2 spaces that will be removed, legal spaces that will be removed. In terms of the materials that staff is proposing, we're proposing rubber curbs as opposed to lots of taller flexible posts. If we put too many tall flexible posts, this can cause some maintenance and aesthetic issues. With the shorter rubber curbs, they tend to be more durable and withstand repeated hits by drivers. But we do need to put in maybe a few taller flexible posts so that there's adequate visibility from all the approaches. The next slide will show the proposed concept, and if the commission recommends this to be installed, staff will add this to our current queue of projects to install. We have a pretty sizable list of projects to install, and this will be added to it. Over here, we're showing striping and rubber curb improvements at this intersection. These thicker black lines show where we're proposing to put these flexible curbs. As you can see on the right side of this image, that's a sample of what these typically look like. This, will maintain the general controls of the intersection, except that we're proposing to move this southbound stop sign along Broadway to the Sapphire intersection. That way we have visibility for all 4 approaches at the all-way stop, and the stop for Guadalupe remains at the current location. These features also shorten the crosswalk distances and provide some protection for the pedestrians crossing the street, better defined paths of travel. In terms of lost parking, we were proposing the removal of one illegal parking spot to ensure crosswalk visibility at this location. And there's already red curb on the other approaches over here. So this is staff's current proposal. Happy to answer any questions about the short-term improvements, as well as what the commission wants to see in the longer term, given the funding constraints. So that's my presentation.
Commissioner Bealey.
Could you go back a couple of slides there on this one? The slide to the left, I must say, I think, in my personal opinion, that might be the safer for the community, because there's the one entrance off of Guadalupe onto, what is that, Broadway?
From Broadway to Guadalupe, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be less confusion for people that don't often use that intersection, or any changes made. Do you have anything that would not only be with the rubber curbs that would facilitate this?
With the rubber curbs, I think we're trying to mimic some of these longer term improvements. Mm-hmm. And like you mentioned, I think staff's preference is currently the option on the left that does narrow that opening to just one entrance. And that's basically what we're proposing right here.
Okay.
Commissioner Simpson.
Yeah, so I understood the difference essentially to be one of cost. I mean, at this point, you're suggesting the short-term proposal because it's cheaper and you've got the money in the budget to do it. Is that?
That's correct, yeah. These short-term improvements are all we have money for right now. The long-term improvements, this is sort of an unfunded CIP project. We need to do some survey and civil work, curb and gutter,
And
drainage.
presumably that would happen sometime in the future?
Yeah, if the council decides to appropriate funding and direction for that.
I mean, I think that the long-term solution is a much more appealing and would hope that find the budget to be able to do that. But I guess for safety reasons in the short term, we probably should be approving the short-term plan.
I agree. Any other concerns?
Yeah,
Commissioner Anderson?
yeah, I like the quick build option, especially the new stop sign in the middle, because I was just over that intersection. I did see a lot of burnouts right in the middle, so that'll hopefully take care of some of that issue. I'm a fan of quick build. Is there an intent to actually build, because this does not mirror what the options are, particularly on the south side of Guadalupe. So is the option ultimately to keep these quick builds, if this is going to be how it's going to, after you do your observation, you say this is how we're going to do it, are you going to keep this exact same layout for the permanent solution as well?
Not necessarily. I think we will go back to, and if we have the funding to hire the designer and the consultant to determine what's feasible in terms of the bulb outs and the greenery that we want to put in. But this will be a good test case for that.
Are you going to have staff go out and observe and take notes, watch turning movements?
Yeah, basically every install we do like this, we're definitely doing observations. For example, the Barrel Guadalupe that was installed last week from a commission recommendation several months ago. So these things do take some time, but we are definitely observing since it is a pretty heavy investment on our part.
Right. Are you doing some education and further outreach with the community as you go through this?
On an informal basis, yeah.
Okay. My only other comment was with these rubber curbs, I've had a history of, they can deteriorate over time. And but I entrust you have the vendors that you like and just watch them maintain them, because I have seen them kind of deteriorate. In some other cities I've seen, they keep them for a little bit too long.
Yeah.
And they can,
Yeah, that is one of the drawbacks of the short term, is that once we put something out there, it can deteriorate over time unless we find some plan of action to do something more permanent, like curb and gutter.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let's get some public comment.
Public comment?
Hi.
Hello,
Jim
welcome.
Light, District 1.
Hello.
I'm not speaking as mayor. I live right near this intersection and would ask you to approve this temporary solution for two reasons. One is pedestrian safety, because that walk along the east side is long and exposed. And the sidewalk that comes across from west to east, the crossing that comes across west to east, is odd in that it terminates in a crosswalk that's in the middle of the street. So you feel very exposed as a pedestrian going across there, especially families with kids that are going down to the beach. So this helps that solution quite a bit. It protects the pedestrian crosswalks quite a bit, well, much better than it is today. And I think it also will help curtail, this has been for years a hot spot for kids doing donuts. And just this past weekend, 2 a.m, we were woken up by somebody continually doing donuts. It wasn't until neighbors started going out and filming, and taking pictures trying to get his license plate that the kid took off. And this is a regular occurrence. I think reducing that giant asphalt area would help curb that. Speaking to my neighbors, they prefer the rubber curbs over the bollards wherever practical and possible. They just don't think the bollards are that pretty, and they know they'll get beat up over time and look bad. So they prefer the rubber curbs. And of the options that you showed, I had no idea prior to talking with the Public Works folks that they had this in plans for quite some time. The one that was on the left on page 4, I think, is the one that I would personally prefer. So I would ask you to pass the temporary solution to help us out in the neighborhood. It would be a great boon, and the neighborhood would thank you for doing that.
For sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
I'm Janet Raganessi. I live at 220 Sapphire. I've lived there for the last 10 years. I want to say that I always welcome the sound of safety. One is the fire trucks, the ambulances, the EMTs, and the police. What I don't welcome is exactly that was discussed. Donuts in the middle of the night from 10 to 2 in the morning. Someone shot something at my window the other day. Wheelies, young people doing wheelies. On their e-bikes, they wear helmets, they wear clothing, all they know is 4-letter words, and they use firecrackers all over the place, okay? What I do appreciate is our pedestrians and our neighbors. That's what counts here. Our quiet city is turning into a nightmare. I get up sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning, jump right out of bed because of these noises. This is not fun at all. Not at all. I want my sleepy town back, okay? And whatever it takes to make that happen, beautify it. I'm not afraid of beauty. I like beauty. So whatever measures you choose, I would like to see a long-term measure as well. Something that looks welcoming. I also, the old California stop. That's something that happens there quite often, okay? And the pedestrians are running across the street with their pets and their children. So I welcome this. I'm right on the corner. I can't get any closer to the epicenter, So I welcome it. I'd like to see it beautified. And whatever you choose to start off with, I'm good with, but I want this to stop, okay? I really feel sincere about it. And I would like my neighbors to comment, and I'm sure that some of them feel the same way. So anyway, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
We do have one hand raised on Zoom. Daryl, go ahead.
Daryl Boyd again. Yes, there is no traffic enforcement all across the city. Very true what she just said. And Mayor Light, we're woken up all the time by noise here at 500 to 600 North Prospect Avenue, so welcome. At a recent city council meeting, the idea of traffic calming for the Broadway Sapphire Guadalupe intersection was introduced by Mayor Light. It was quickly backed by Councilmember Waller, who said, "Give the people what they want." Who are the people Waller was speaking about? Well, turns out that Mayor Light lives at the second property from the corner of the Broadway Sapphire Guadalupe intersection. This seems to be more like give Mayor Light what he wants, not the people. This is a conflict for Waller, who is Mayor Light's representative in District 1, to be lobbying for preferential treatment and prioritization of something that the mayor desires for his own benefit. And this is definitely a conflict for the mayor to seek preferential treatment and prioritization of a traffic calming project that he desires for his own benefit. A city government seat is not an express pass to cut lines to prioritize personal wants and needs. This is an absolutely horrible look for Waller and Mayor Light. The residents of 500 to 600 North Prospect Avenue have asked for traffic calming, yet our calls for it are ignored. Our calls to enforce traffic safety and noise laws and ordinances all get deflected and ignored. For over 30 years, the street has been neglected, yet a newly elected mayor and council member think it's okay for them to take priority over the residents that they work for to secure their own quality of life benefits in the shortest amount of time possible. This is wrong. I'm firmly against any preferential treatment for Mayor Light and this proposed project at Broadway Sapphire Guadalupe. The residents of 500 to 600 North Prospect Avenue deserve to be prioritized first, with a real plan for remedy of all the problems here, Mayor Light, not just a bunch of tiny plants thrown in front of us. Mayor Light has said there is a plan for us. Well, where is it? We've asked and asked. It isn't on the PWSC agenda. We've been asking for many months. Mayor Light, please get this done for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no other hands raised. And there is 2 e-comments, one opposed and one in support.
Commissioner Bailey.
Ryan, on the temporary fix that you have, is there any way to enclose some of those openings, like adjacent to the sidewalk, like the uppermost portion where?
Are you referring to
right
right there?
and the little island that would kind of be like the angle for the triangle?
Yeah, we could fully enclose it. I think we were trying to go a little bit more minimal, but yeah, certainly we can enclose that.
Right, and then at the driveway at the lower corner to the right.
Here?
Yeah, well, not necessarily up, but on the other side towards the curb to your right.
Over here?
Yeah, just, yeah, because.
Yeah, we can look into that.
I think people will get confused once they see these, and if they start driving everything, and unless they hit something at first to keep it from going into the sidewalk.
Yeah, we can fill it up a little bit, like right at this corner.
How well is that intersection lit at nighttime?
I don't know the current lighting levels.
I was just thinking once it gets dark, if I know my eyesight's not getting much better, so
Yeah.
I can absolutely tell you that, driving at night in the rain, that you really can't see. My visibility goes down quite a bit, so I was just.
Yeah, we can certainly fill in some of the gaps here. These rubber curbs, I believe, depending on the model that's chosen, generally they should be reflective, and we are proposing a selective use of taller flexible posts with reflectors on them, so that they are seen from a further distance.
I think it's a great idea. Good job.
I have a question about what about beacon lighting?
So the use of beacons is pretty prescribed in the METCD, so that's the governing document for traffic control devices. Generally, there has to be a use case for a beacon warning of some imminent danger or unusual traffic circumstance. While this intersection could be considered quite unusual, I think the presence of curbs doesn't usually warrant the installation of a flashing light. Then some people at another intersection will, I'm hitting these bulb outs, I want a flashing light on the bulb out. And then we start going down the sort of the rabbit hole of people wanting flashing lights anytime they've hit a curb. But I don't see a use case for a beacon at this intersection.
I'm just wondering.
Generally, drivers should be going at a slower speed, slowing down for the stop sign, so they should be able to see what looks like a curb.
And the pricing, just wondering for beacon lighting, is it pretty? It's not that expensive, correct?
There are some maintenance costs associated with flashing beacons, with the solar that's associated with them, and just getting that installed. Any type of electronics that we install in the middle of the road are prone to getting hit as well. Mm-hmm. Even our speed feedback signs that we've installed around the city have been hit, and those are on the sides of the road. So we do have to consider that cost as well.
And may I ask, the recommendation from Commissioner Bealey, and you had said that you thought about it but didn't, just wondering why you didn't and your thoughts about doing it.
Doing what? Could you?
Closing it off and extending that.
Yeah, we were trying to go something that was a little bit on the cheaper side, a little bit more affordable, just the most critical locations where someone would be crossing this path of travel that's, over here is not as likely. But we can with your feedback, we can certainly consider closing that off.
And if he closed that, if it was recommended to close it off, does that eliminate a parking space?
I don't believe so, because this curb space right here, if a car was parked there, they would actually be on top of the actual crosswalk.
Commissioner Anderson?
I just wanted to know if any of this area was part of the bicycle master plan?
I believe Broadway is designated as a class 3 bike route, bike-friendly street. And that could take on a lot of different forms of infrastructure. But treatments like this that improve safety for all roadway users, pedestrians and cyclists alike, is probably consistent with that. I don't believe Broadway is slated for class 2 bike lanes, like striped bike lanes.
Right.
I think a discussion on that will probably warrant a discussion about the angled parking, which is
Right.
probably not something for today.
Commissioner Anderson, do you have any questions?
No.
Commissioner Bailey?
I'm good.
Yeah, actually to clarify, Lauren just checked, if we did close off this corner, we may lose a spot depending on how the car is parked, the size of the car. I think in some instances, if a car was small enough, it could fit in this space right here. But I have noticed in the past that if the car is large enough, it could technically block that crosswalk. It really depends.
I apologize. I said Commissioner Anderson, looking at Commissioner Simpson. Commissioner Simpson, my apologies. Please accept my apologies. Do you have any comment?
I do not.
May I ask Mayor Light back up to the podium, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, yes, I'm just inquiring upon Commissioner Bailey's recommendation, if that was extended on the parking?
If there are cars that occasionally park there, but the larger ones do tend to block the crosswalk. In fact, on street sweeping days and on busy beach days, people are actually parking over the crosswalk on the corners. So I actually applaud this for trying to control that. I don't mind losing that one potential parking space there. I do like the request to enclose the other two kind of islands, because I do think that'll be clearer to people and make pedestrians feel safer. But I applaud, this design in and of itself is a vast improvement over what we have today. So I applaud staff's recommendation here.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so
the
much.
one thing I did want to ask, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
You know how you have those black triangles at the crosswalk? Would it be possible to add it where going from Broadway to Sapphire if you're coming south and turning west? Right there. Just what my fear is, you're taking away that stop sign. So people coming off of Sapphire and dashing right down there, it might give them a little extra.
Yeah, that's something we can consider, putting the additional triangles at
Just
that
something
corner.
to give them a little extra, hey, even though you don't have a stop sign, look out for the pedestrians.
Yeah, we'll look into that. I think what we're trying to achieve here is that by slowing down that turn enough, that forces
I'm good with whatever
visibility.
decision, just something to consider.
Yeah, but we'll
And I
take a look at that.
thank the commission for considering this. And any other questions for me?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure, Jesse had spoken about that he didn't feel like there was a lot of traffic in front of the relocated stop. So I'm just thinking about parking. One parking space makes all the difference.
I think we're looking at more of safety for the community instead of the amount of parking spots that we have.
I understand, but
Maybe.
you said it's not highly trafficked. Did you actually do a study on this corner? So we can make a recommendation, like Commissioner Billy's recommending to extend that out to the relocated stop, but you said that you had already thought that into consideration.
So in regards to the parking, what we're proposing here, this space where my cursor is here in front of the crosswalk, that's technically already illegal. And this formalizes that. And like the public has mentioned here, this space, it's questionable whether a car can legally park there. It depends on the size of the vehicle. So closing off would formally close it off.
Have you thought about formally delineating the space itself?
No, that's not something we're considering right now. I think that generally triggers accessible parking requirements.
Okay.
So we're trying to not designate the spaces.
And in terms of cost, to close those areas off that was recommended by Commissioner Bealey, like in terms of cost, how much more are we talking?
Probably a very small change in cost. It would be a couple extra pieces of rubber curb to fully, to go beyond what is shown here. But generally, these types of improvements are covered in the traffic calming budget.
I'll make a motion to with the changes that I mentioned, to go ahead and accept the Ryan's draft or initial draft of the traffic calming measures for this intersection.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Could you do a roll call vote for
Oh,
this
I'm
one?
so sorry. Yeah, roll call vote. Yeah, sure.
Commissioner Simpson?
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson?
Aye.
Commissioner Bealey? Aye. Chair Arruda?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Next.
Okay, commissioner member items and future commission agenda topics. You don't have to fight for parking, do you? You don't know what.
Are there any,
There's none for myself.
I have a question. Do we have any update on Avenue A? The stairs, the ramp?
Avenue A ramp.
Avenue A ramp?
Good evening, Public Works Director. I'm not officially in charge of Avenue A ramps, but I have spoken with the county's Beaches and Harbors Division, who is working with their Public Works Division to make improvements. They're currently going through an EIR process right now for that. And as far as I understand, it still has not yet been adopted. I don't know what the date is, but I think it's late this year. It's supposed to be, EIR is supposed to be presented to the appropriate board.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Bealey?
I have nothing.
Commissioner Anderson?
Nothing for me.
Commissioner Simpson?
I have nothing.
Okay, so moving on to adjournment. The next meeting of the Redondo Beach Public Works and Sustainability Commission will be a regular meeting to be held at 7 p.m. on August 25th in the Redondo Beach City Council Chambers at 415 Diamond Street, Redondo Beach, California. May I get a motion?
I think we have one comment from staff.
Oh, sure. I'm so sorry.
This is the time where we can also discuss if we are going to have a quorum for the next meeting. As you know, we're getting a little nervous today, but it would be great to hear from you all if we would have a quorum. I think we have one item at this time planned for the next meeting.
Maybe not.
But, and then we're actually looking to October with some school-related discussion items. So at this point, just wanted to let you know that we definitely would have a meeting if we have a quorum, but I want to make sure that we'll have 4.
Sure.
I'll be here.
I expect to be here.
Okay. It's August, just
25th.
25th.
I'll be here.
And when is Labor Day?
Weekend after.
Week
The
after.
week
Weekend
after,
after,
September 1st.
September 1st. Do we have any feedback from any of the other commissioners?
not at this time. I don't believe, I mean, ask Jesse, but
No, I have not heard from the other commissioners' intention to be here or not be here.
Okay. I'll be here.
Would it make more sense to not have a meeting and kind of pack in the September meeting potentially?
September is going to be a little difficult because Ryan will not be in attendance in September. And his items usually dominate our discussion items. So that one, if we don't have anything between now and September that isn't traffic related, which we don't foresee, we will be really light on that meeting for any items. So that may be one that you'll want to consider
Postponing
to October.
Okay.
But we can talk about that next month.
So I guess I move we adjourn till whatever the day there, August 25th.
Yeah. And a second?
Well, second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Great, thank you.
Aye, aye, aye.